Terra Luna Classic proposals are a real game changer, and they have people divided. And that's the biggest thing that's happening with Terra Luna Classic right now. What's happening, everyone? I'm your host, Coin Central, and this time we're going to be happening with everything that's happening behind crypto. So right now, what I'm seeing is crypto basically taking a slow upturn, all these tokens improving, all these tokens getting a possibility of a high bull run. But Terra Luna Classic has been dumping. Why? Well, because the community can't decide if what they should do with some tokens that they could burn or not. And this is the important factor. Like, people don't want to give access to the, I'm guessing, developers to change the blockchain so anyone can access your crypto or change it. Like, so for example, if your crypto is lost, it's not like developers can say, oh, we can just, add the crypto back, because that would mean someone can abuse this and say, oh, I lost my crypto, and then end up selling it twice, right? And this is the crypto space right now. It's absolutely brutal in a sense. But the thing we need to know is crypto is just getting started, and Terra Luna Classic also. But it's not doing that well in terms of its community. It's very divided right now. It's actually so divided that we can see by proposals the community of Terra Luna is 50-50, and this reflects on the price, minus 10% today.
Coins. We want to see this overall decrease. If we can see that decrease, then we know that the survival or the recovery of the entire chain is definitely possible. Because getting this to a level to where it supports USTC, the only way that you can do that is by having a higher price. If you have a $5 price, that can easily support USTC at $1. If you have a $10 price, it can easily support USTC at $1. And this is why this proposal is so important. This seems to be kind of that last straw, the final effort to kind of push forward.
This is very well said. Like, they want to set this tax policy. They want to get it out there. And I feel like this is where the changes are made, where people really want to go ahead and focus on the good stuff in that sense. Like, they want to focus on everything that can be improved and not focus on everything that can't be improved. That's what I'm seeing right now with Terra Luna Classic. Like, people are excited to see Terra Luna Classic going up in the near future.
In what we're looking for, a burn tax. They're looking to set a burn tax where you have, or an overall tax where you have 1.2 that goes towards the burn. The number that we're all comfortable with, we're all familiar with. We understood the impact that it did have within the first 3 weeks before we ended up backtracking. And now you look at the 0.5% tax. People were complaining about the 0.5% tax, but that did pass.
0.5% tax would be pretty much awesome, but Terra Luna Classic burns are amazing. Like, this is a community-led proposal for a parameter change to adjust the on-chain tax rate to 1.5%. This would bring us back to the original 1.2% burn tax. With 0.3 to fund the chain, this is important, because if you don't have that, well, that's a big problem. So that I like. That I really like. But it resulted in higher burns, more funding to chain overall without any discernible volume loss or on-chain capital flight. We believe a 1.5% total on-chain is reasonable and will be accepted by the community on a whole implementation. So 0.5% is not enough, but 1.5% could be increasing and could reach Terra Luna Classic to much, much more. And it's not that noticeable. Again, it's not going to be a game changer, but the thing is, it could improve so much in a good aspect that we could be seriously seeing some honest, good changes. And that's exactly what I wanted to see in that way. Like, really, this is really awesome stuff I'm seeing right now. And I'll keep you also updated with more about this pretty much soon. But yeah.
Yes. And with that passing, you now see more burns that are happening on chain than ever. So with the 1.2% tax, yes, it won't be absolutely, game changing overall, because we still need the exchanges to do what they're going to do. But at least this shows support, right? Because my plan and my thought process is to get the exchanges to burn 1%. Why would exchanges burn 1% if we're not even burning 1%? And
exactly. So it's kind of hard to agree the exchanges that they will burn like this amount, but it's a decent start, really. It's a decent start, and it's exactly what we need right now with Terra Luna Classic. Like, we need to start somewhere in that matter, and this is like the place to begin, the place to start, the place to go. So that's something I'm excited about, in that sense. Like this, there is a possibility of real recovery, but only if we implement this and we implement this nicely, not like just mess it up in the end. If we mess it up, then it's a big problem.
And typically they want volume to flow over there. So if we're doing 1.2% or 1.5% overall, then more people would be likely to go off chain, which is okay, right? Because that's where the burns will happen. The trades, the overall trades will happen. But people that understand and believe in the chain and want to do something with the chain, no matter what, will have that 1.5%. I still have my coins over here in Terra Station, and I would support the 1.5% overall to support the community.
1.5% isn't even noticeable, probably, except for the bigger whales, which is like $1,500 in every 100k they trade. So it's probably going to be noticeable on the bots. Like, they need to earn more, but I see like 61% are saying yes and no with veto. They're like trying to say no, never. They're trying to stop it. So that's pretty interesting, though, no? Like, that's a interesting thing if you ask me overall. Like, that's a awesome factor. But that being said, does seem like it's just getting started in all seriousness. Like, there's a lot of possibilities of where this could go.
With veto, if you are going to be skeptical about it, obviously get some sort of breakdown and get an understanding of how people feel about it. And if you truly feel that way, then go abstain, right? Or go no.
So yeah, if people aren't too sure, they can always abstain, and I think that's the big possibility a lot of people will do. In that sense, like they might just abstain it and say, no, I don't want to do it. And you don't have to. You don't have to vote if you don't want. But there's big whales saying yes to this. There's big whales saying yes to this burn.
No, if you want to. But going no with veto takes away the funding that goes towards these type of proposals. And in order for us to get it right, you need to be able to have that funding out there. It's built by the community, right? The entire community is like, yeah, I want this to happen. And that's why, you're able to put this proposal out here, is because of the community coming together. There's a large group of people, within a Telegram group that care about the burn tax. And I think you should too. The burn tax means so much to me because I feel as though that's the normal way that we can see burning, while everybody else is looking for anyone else to do it.
So yeah, the people are basically want the easy path, like seeing no burns, like someone else doing the burns, right? And I think this is the problem. Like, it's not gonna be a simple solution in that way. There's no simple fixes here, and this could be the best way to solve that problem in a sense. Like, I do think there's a lot of chances here to see Terra Luna Classic proposals actually seeing tons of changes in that aspect. But we do need like action. We do need to see massive changes overall.
All the validators or anybody is looking for anybody else to do it. That's not the way that it goes. Understand that we need to do this together. Every single person needs to sacrifice something. And the way that we do that is by having every single place either taxed or have some sort of burn that's associated with it. We need all nodes. We need Orion money. We need all of these top validators, as well as all validators, to vote to get this passed. Because I want to see.
So yeah, Matthew Perry actually agrees with this one, and that's what gets me excited. He does say like, okay, this might just work, guys, but we need approval of all people, not just one person, of everyone.
1.2% burn tax. I don't want to see it pulled back. I want to see it there forever. Because, well, not forever, but at least for the time being, until we see the overall supply decrease down to where it needs to decrease to. And then eventually we can figure out a path forward to where we build up the reserve. And as we have the reserve that's like depleted, we can have some sort of little tax associated again to build up the reserve. And I just want to let people know that this burn tax, as we have a burn tax on chain, it gives the exchanges freedom to implement that 1% tax that I want them to do. Now, this is not a guarantee that they will.
So this is like what Matthew Perry has been basically saying for a long time. And I think it's very important to say like that people wanted a burn, but they didn't want to do the hard work. And what Matthew Perry really wanted to do here is actually convince people in a fun way to do these burns, a fun way to convince these exchanges. Let's have competitions. Let's do all of this and that. And let's have a good time with burns. It's going to be fantastic. Everything is going to be okay. Sadly not. Like, sadly, that didn't happen. And we needed a lot more than just that. We needed a lot more of actual development, a lot more of movements. And we just didn't get them. We didn't get them at this point, and this was very frustrating for a lot of holders. So they ended up selling their Luna Classic in a way, like they sold everything. And the real reason is like there's no possibilities of actually crypto seeing like that massive rise if we don't see a burn, because you're gonna have like these massive whales sell a big supply. Sure, there are other ways to see like opportunity in crypto, to see like chance to see more price hikes, but nothing like before. And that's what I'm worried about, really. That's what really gets me confused, like in crypto right now. Like, where could Luna Classic stop in the next few days if it's gonna like keep increasing, if every single time like a whale buys, we start to see a huge dip? And that's what I'm also worried about. Probably Matthew Perry is worried about too in that aspect. Like, I think everyone is worried in some way in that sense. But hopefully this can be resolved and everyone can like stay happy. But we really need to see like what happens
To help them out. And I'm just going to watch them while they drown. That's what we're trying to get this.
Exactly. So I think that's the very good scenario. That's why I like Matthew Perry, because he gets very much on point. So I'm just going to watch while Terra Luna Classic starts crashing, and then I'll decide what to do. Like, that's a really sad part about Terra Luna Classic, is a lot of people just don't care about it. And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate in that scenario that like people don't really care. They don't care about Terra Luna Classic, and there is chances for it to recover, but I don't know when they're gonna happen in that way. Like, I don't know when, how, why. So there is a lot of possibilities that Terra Luna Classic could be seeing another massive bull run. Now, I don't know if they're gonna have like some sort of utility. I definitely think people are expecting more utility for Terra Luna, and with that, we could get also more burn.
To sacrifice anything because we're greedy. Why are we being greedy?
Exactly. Like, a lot of people were saying, let's do more burns, and whales stopped buying in. They said, why would I buy this? This doesn't make any sense. Why would I buy this at all? And it's exactly what happened with Terra Luna Classic. There was no reason to buy it, in a sense. Like, it's very unfortunate. Like, nobody wanted to get in. So that being said, does seem like Terra Luna Classic is just getting started in a good way. It's not fading away or anything. It still has time. But it's like a baby. You got to nurture that baby. You got to like call it in. You got to make sure everything's right. You got to feed the baby. Or otherwise it's going to like it's not going to like go well, you know?
And that's all I have to say, is that we don't want to watch as Terra Luna Classic is drowning.
So yeah, we gotta save Terra Luna Classic. We gotta do something, not just stand here and say, "Wow, okay, we should do this and that." And that's why he advocates so much these proposals, because, well, they make a lot of sense. They do make a lot of sense to fix crypto right now. So I do think there's a huge possibility that crypto will rally in the following days even more so, and Terra Luna Classic shouldn't get missed out on behind. Be sure to smash that like button. I'll keep you guys updated with more news. Until next time, peace everyone.